Hello again. Let's talk about writing informal letters. The opening. When writing an informal letter, you are usually replying to another letter. You would normally start with a greeting, then acknowledge the letter to which you are replying. It is often a good idea to acknowledge some key information given in the original letter too. You can also make a comment on your own reply. Acknowledge. Acknowledge means reconocer. So, you say something connected to the letter that you have received. Let's see some useful phrases for the opening. How are you? How have the family been? I hope you are well. Thank you. Many thanks for your recent letter or your last letter. It was good to hear from you again. It was nice to hear from you again. I was so surprised to hear that. I'm sorry I haven't written. I'm sorry I haven't been in touch for such a long time. Be in touch. Estar en contacto. It's ages since I've heard from you. Hace siglos. I hope you are well. Connectors. All good writing makes good use of connectors. However, many of the connectors you have learned for other styles of writing are inappropriate in an informal letter or email. For informal writing, you need to use some of the connectors that are more specific to spoken language. Let's see. To introduce a topic. Well, you'll never guess who I bumped into yesterday. Bumped into. ¿Con quién me encontré de casualidad? I know how much you love tennis, so I've got us some tickets to Wimbledon. By the way, did you know that John's got a new job? By the way, a propósito. To go back to a previous topic, algo de lo que ya han hablado. Anyway, as I was saying earlier, I really wasn't very happy there. As I was saying earlier, como te iba diciendo antes. Now, where was I? Oh, yes, I nearly forgot. Mary asked me to tell you about the cinema. To introduce surprising or bad news. Actually, he came to the party after all. Actually, en realidad, I'm really sorry, but I can't make it. To tell you the truth, I don't really like sports much. To summarize what you've already said. Anyway, we had a really nice time in the end. Well, to cut a long story short, we didn't get there on time. To cut a long story short, para hacerla corta. This is an example of an informal letter. Hi, Jean. Good to hear from you again. I hope you're still enjoying your job. This is a reference to the letter that you have received. Give reasons for replying. You express why you are writing this letter. What is or are the reasons? I'm glad you asked me about the party I planned for my mother's birthday. Well, I have to say it was a fantastic success. I told my mother we were taking her out for a quiet meal at a local restaurant with just the family. But in fact, I'd hired a large room in a hotel and invited all her old friends. In number one, we can see I'd. It's a contraction. Instead of saying I had hired, I use I'd. A contraction is an informal way of writing. You start a new paragraph when the topic changes. Anyway, I picked my mother up and told her I'd changed my mind. We were going to have a meal in a hotel. You should have seen her face when she walked into the room and everyone cheered. She just couldn't believe it and burst into tears. It's important to know expressions which are informal and colloquial, like burst into tears, rompió en lágrimas, no, perdón, rompió en llanto. When you close, you generally give an excuse to finish your letter. Must dash now. I've got to go to college. Hope to hear from you. Must dash now. Debo irme enseguida ahora. Debo correr. Make sure you finish with an informal phrase. And of course, your name. Okay, let's see if you can write an informal letter now.